we are going to configure this topology so all the traffic moves in a clockwise direction. And what I mean by saying that is that this router is going to move all of his traffic to this router is going to move all of his traffic to this router, and this third router is going to move his traffic to this router. We are going to configure static routing and IP addresses for the routers and for the PCs using these tags that we are having here and here. So let's begin. So first I'm going to configure the host device's IP. So this device is going to be in this network, .1, and I'm going to give the first IP for this network. This 255.255.255 we know that is the equivalent for /24 subnet mask. And the default gateway, which is the router, is going to give, I'm going to give it 1.10. I'm going to give every router the .10 IP address for being the gateway of his network. So this PC is done. Now we're going to configure this PC. Here we have the network, which is, so that's one, the same mask, and the router is going to be 0.10. We don't have any DNS server in this case. For the last PC, 192.168.2.1. The subnet mask and the router is going to be 192.168.1.2 and 1.10, right? Okay, now for the routers, we enter here CLI, we enter no. So we are ready to configure the router. So let's begin. First, we are going to configure the LAN-SIDE of the router. These two commands is to enter in the router mode in which we can configure interfaces. And the interface is where is the cable connected. So we're going to configure interface gigabit 00, which is the interface that is connected to the LAN. Alright, now we are going to give it an IP address. Like as said, I'm going to use the .10 prefix for all the routers. And the way I configure this is with this command. We give the IP address and the subnet mask. Alright, we press enter, and finally all of the interfaces by default, they are on a shutdown state. We are going to bring it on a not shutdown state, which is going to be like turning it on. So when the interface is turned on both sides, it's going to give a green signal, right? Okay, now we're going to configure the one side of the router, which is this red cable. So for the one side, we're going to enter the interfaces which is connected to the one side. We can see here in the topology that is a serial cable, a serial interface. So I'm going to enter to the serial 000, which is the serial that it's going up to this router. Okay, now I'm going to give it an IP address. It's going to be the 10.0.0. I'm going to give it the 1, So this router is the 1 and this router is the .2. Okay. And the subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.252. And the reason this is because these networks, these ones, are /30. So we're going to use 252, which is the /30 equivalent, right? Now I'm going to turn on the interface. Okay, now the interface is turned on. We are going to do something very similar to this router. We're not configuring any routing yet. We are just configuring IP addresses. So enable configure terminal, right? Okay, so now going entering the gigabit 00. We can see here that that's the interface which is connected. Now I'm going to assign it an IP address 192.168.2.10. Okay, 255.255.255.20. That's because we are following the tags. Remember. Now we're going to turn it on. No shutdown. Okay. So the interface is now on. Okay. Okay, now let's go to the other interface which is connected to the WAN-SIDE. Interface serial, it's the 000. We can see it here in the topology. Let me check. Yeah, it's the 000. Okay, now we give it an address. So if you remember the last router, which was this one, if it was the .1, this has to be the .2. Okay, so let's give it the 10.0.0.2. Remember, we cannot put the same IP addresses on two devices. 255.252. Okay, now no shutdown. Now it's supposed to turn on both of the devices with that green signal. Okay, now we are done with this router. Okay, now but this router, let's see, it has another interface. So let's configure that interface. Interface serial 001. And for that interface, I have that is 10.10. So this .4 is the name of the network, the network ID. So I cannot give it to the router. I cannot put the 4 here, but I can put him the 5. Okay, 255.255.255.252. Okay, now let's turn it on. All right. Now for the last router. Okay, no. It's basically the same. Enable configure terminal. Now we enter the gigabit 00, which is the gigabit connected to the LAN-SIDE. Okay, we give it an address 192.168.0.10, 255.255.255.0. Now we turn it on. Okay. Now let's configure the LAN-SIDE. The WAN-SIDE. Okay, so interface serial 0001. I'm going to configure the interface that is connected to this router first. Okay, so IP address 10.0.0. So if I give this router the 5, I will give this router the 6. Then 6. 255.255.255.252. Okay, now I'm going to turn it on. So this was supposed to turn it on, but Okay, I'm going to check it later. And I forgot to configure this one, interface serial 001, IP address 10.0.0.9.255.255.255.252, no shutdown. Okay. Okay, so we can see that there's no connection between this router and between this router. How I know that? Because the signal is red. It's still red. So let's see if I made some mistake. Okay, so the problem was in this router. These IPs were the .6 were in the serial 1 and the .10 were in the serial 0. So I just switch it and now it all works. So to prove it, we are going to ping both of the routers to see if we have communication. So ping 10.0.0.0.0.9, which is going to be this router. So let's see if we have connection. Yeah, success. Now let's ping the 10.0.0.5, which was this upper router. And yeah, we have connection. Now we're going to configure the clockwise traffic movement. How we're going to do that? We're going to use the command IP route, which will give a table to the routers so they can look. Okay, the packet is looking for this network with this mask, so I'm going to give it to this router, which will be the next hop. So we're going to do this for the 3 routers, so they give it both of the network traffics, they give it to the same router, which is the same next hop. So that way we can create that movement of a circular clockwise direction of the packet. Okay, so to configure this we have to be in configure terminal mode. So let's enter in that mode. Wait, so in which router I am? Okay, I'm in this router. Oops. This was here. I'm in this router. Okay. So we have 2 destination networks. Okay, so we are going to put IP route, and we're going to say when people are looking for the 192.168.1.0 network, when people are looking for this network with this mask, I'm going to give it to the 10.0.0.9, which is this router. So what I'm saying with this command is that, hey, everything you give me to look for those networks, I'm going to give it to this router, everything. So that way there's no possibility that a packet given to this router will move to this router. Instead, it's all going to be moved to this router. Okay. Oops, so there's a problem. Okay, I forgot the .0 here. Okay, now we're going to put the same for the other network, which is 2, which is this upper network right here. Okay, we are done with this router. We are going to have the same idea for this router right here. Okay, let's exit. All right, so let's move here. IP route. If you can see here destination prefix. Okay, destination prefix, I'm going to put it as .0. Now you see destination prefix mask. So 255.255.255.0, and now it's asking for forwarding router's address. The forwarding router's address is this router right here. So 10.0.0, and remember that router is the .2. Let's check. Yeah, it's that .2. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing for everything that is looking to this direction. All right, and now for the last router, and for this to work, all routers has to be configured. Okay, so IP route 1.0, the mask, and my next hop is going to be that 10.0.0. If I am the 5, then he is the 6, right? Now the same thing for all packets that are going to looking for the 0 network. Okay, now let's check if this works. Okay, let's put a packet here. Let's put two packets here, a packet here. We have, let's put simulation mode. Okay. And okay, I'm going to put one packet here and then here. So let's play this. Okay, you can see the packet, they are traveling in a clockwise direction. Okay, let's reset this, play it again.